First and 10. Now Mahomes. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play for the NFC.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried. Another example right there.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he will score. Touchdown NFC. DeAndre Hopkins. 26 yards. And the NFC able to widen their advantage.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Coup for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Touchdown. Here's Coup to kick off. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. Patrick Mahomes and the AFC ready to go on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They begin with Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On second and 11 now. Mahomes. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. Aaron Donald, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot, and here another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Escaping the pressure right. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. The AFC punt team out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our Players Spotlight. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Mahomes to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the 1st interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
On 1st down, Cook. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. There on the tackle, Mika Fitzpatrick.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 41 yards rushing for him in the ballgame now on 14 carries.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Catch is made by Metcalf. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. Being chased out left. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from 4 yards out. And the NFC just continuing to pull it on.
Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally.
And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Fletcher Cox busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, he is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The AFC punt team out there now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's pulled in at the 32. Now a hit and a loose football. And that's picked up by the AFC. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. Looking deep for Adams. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And here now the punter, Fox, as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The AFC about ready to take over on offense.
And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as folk.
And his pass is intercepted for the 3rd time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
Koo now for the point after.
And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. Flushed out right. He'll have a first. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Derrick Henry. And he'll get it down here to the 43. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or he keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing is Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
58 yards rushing for him now in this first half of the Pro Bowl.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. So we have come upon halftime of this Pro Bowl with the NFC on top of the AFC. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been blowout city thus far, but still more football to be played. Who knows what could happen? As we send you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The AFC going to get the ball first as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
The offense for the AFC set to go now. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Henry again on second down.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there. Or maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Mahomes firing complete and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Aaron Donald picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Flush to his right. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy with 3rd down looming.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to and he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. Nick Chubb. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the AFC able to claw one back. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And Nick Chubb, the one. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the 2nd half. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Eluding the pressure right. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Now, that was was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 98 yards for him on the ground as he has been a bright spot for this NFC offense. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
On second down, Cook. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. T.J. Hockenson there to make the grab. And the NFC stretching that lead out even a bit further. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Coup for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. And this is going to be secured by the AFC. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. And down he goes.
Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw caught here by Metcalf.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
127 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now Cook. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. T.J. Hockenson, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the NFC just continuing to pour it on.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off by an NFC touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
Here's the All-Pro returner from 2018, Andre Roberts.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The AFC set to take over on offense.
They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
2nd down, they go again with Henry.
He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers going deep for Hopkins.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Second and 6.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Steps away, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call.
Come on, baby, we got to do our job. We got to do our job, man.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Touchdown! That's caught. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the NFC stretching that lead out even a bit further.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Mahomes now on 1st down. They set up the screen for Henry. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Mahomes throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Mahomes.
This will go to Henry out wide.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Can you try and go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out?
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Zadarius Smith in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. That is caught inside the 5. Keenan Allen from 19 yards away. And the AFC able to get a little bit more respectable.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here now the NFC to take over on offense.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys
will fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play that time for the NFC.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He finds Hopkins complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Carter, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Dalvin Cook, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the NFC just continuing to pour it on.
Though definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out.
The AFC offense making their way back out. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. That catch good for only a couple.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete here to Waller. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes dancing to his left. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's complete to Diggs. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Tucker with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. We've got a lopsided game here. Which I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Flushed out right. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Rodgers throwing here. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers forced out to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Rodgers now to throw. And that will be
incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Rodgers to throw once more. Looking deep for Adams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out. And the AFC is going to get the football back in great field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Check down here for Henry. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. Now the ball comes loose. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?